Hi, this is Sherry Masters, the district's instructional technology coach. Today's video is going to talk about how to import content from other courses. So there are actually two places you might get content from. One could be a sandbox or a template course where you've been working and you have content, and then another one might be a past course. So the first thing I'm going to do is just kind of look at what you need in order to import content from a previous course. So if I were going to use my sandbox course for my life science, I would click on it. And what I'm looking for is this course number right here. And so I could just copy that course number. If I'm going to import from a past course, so it's not a sandbox course, that would still be somewhere on my dashboard. Obviously, I'm going to go to courses, all courses, and then I'm going to scroll through and try to find past courses. Now, I'm on my laptop, so my screen's pretty small, and it is set to 100%. And you're probably going to notice that at one time, we used to put the school year at the beginning of the school name. And then at some point, we began to put it at the end of the school name, which means the only way you're going to find a course from last year, and I think we started with 2022, 23 or something like that, is you can minimize your screen, and you can see I'm minimizing, and not enough, it appears. And then maybe I can find a date. Ooh, that's just tiny. Or another way of doing it going forward is to add the school year to the start of your course by going in and changing the course name, not the course code, just the course name. And you'll notice I put 23-24, which would be last year. It's my life science course and second semester. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy from this course. So like with the other, I will open it. I will get my course number. I'll go back to my dashboard. And I will open up my life science course, which at this point has no content in it. I'm going to come over here to the side and I'm going to import existing content. And I'm on my home page. Sorry if I didn't make that specific. Okay. And the type of content, and you'll notice I've been kind of playing around here with some stuff. The type of content is going to be copy a Canvas course and search for a course. I can either start typing the number or I can paste the number. And then underneath, what it should show is the course that I'm looking for. And so this was the one that I did want to copy from. I'm going to click on it. Now, here's where you're going to need to make a choice. And part of this choice I'll show towards the end of the video. But it's the idea, are you going to take all the content that's in the past course, or do you only want part of it? If you're going to take it all, click all content, pretty obvious, right? It takes everything, which is important. If you're not, you would do selected content, and I'm going to come back to that. Okay. Now, some options that you have are to convert content to new quizzes. I'm going to warn you right now that Canvas no longer supports classic quizzes. When I've reached out to Canvas chat support and I say, hey, I've got a teacher who's having an issue with classical quizzes, I usually get, we really don't help with that much anymore. So I'm going to be honest, that's going to be a problem. So my advice would be to convert. And then the other thing is to adjust the dates by removing the dates. There's this weird glitch that if you use the set default grade to 0 when it's late and you keep old dates, for some reason, Canvas keeps wanting to go to those old dates and will give students zeros before the assignment is actually late. I'm not exactly sure what the heck's going on, but my advice is when you pull things in, just remove the dates. And then all you're going to do is click Add to Import Queue. You're going to get a little status bar that it's queued and a little progress bar, and it's going to say it's loading, and then it'll say completed when done. Now, the reason I'm not adding it right now is because I want to go back to look at select specific content. When I do specific content, and I add to queue, you're going to notice it says waiting for selection. So what it's saying is, hey, I see you want to import, but you got to go pick what you want to import. And so I'm just going to select content. And it will take a moment. Now, course settings, that's your grading, that's usually your side navigation. Do you have a syllabus? That might be important. What modules are you using? Okay, so here are a bunch of modules from the different weeks. Maybe I don't want them anymore, or maybe I just want some. And notice I'm using the side arrow. So I can either click all, or I can choose individual ones. Now, if you do modules without the assignments, you'll get the modules, but none of the assignments will show up listed, but you won't be able to activate them until you actually pull in the assignments. So if you're going to do all the modules, please do all the assignments. But you can, however, pick different assignments. You can also pick different quizzes, pages. So this could be your home page. Please make sure that you do include your home page if it's one that you like to use year after year. So if there's informational pages that you want, if you don't need any of these, then by all means don't. Any external tools, so if you created a page or an assignment that had an external tool built into it, maybe it was the book or it sent them out somewhere, you might want to include that. My guess is announcements, probably not, because they would be old announcements and not new ones. So you are welcome to not include announcements. Files. Files are any images or snippets or things like that that you've used in the course. My advice is if you have any pages, assignments, or quizzes that have images, always include files. So really, you could include everything but announcements if you wanted to, but whatever it is you want to pick, this is where you do that. And then once you're done, and I know it's hard to see, so I will sneak this down a little bit. There's a blue button down here that says I've picked my content. Okay, so whatever I've done for select my content, let me go back. Let me just go select some stuff. I will take everything but my announcements. I'm going to click select content. All right, so waiting for running. So whether you do all content or selected content, you will get the status for running. My advice is just leave your screen here, just kind of hang out. You can watch the progress bar, do something else, whatever it is you need to do while you're waiting. And then, of course, the progress bar will come across and go back and come across. It does take a few minutes. And now we're complete. And so if I go back to my home, okay, my classic quizzes have been migrated, and there's my home page that I like to use from year to year. And that's pretty much it. That's how you copy content from a past course. Thanks for watching.